planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where IDK, my BFF Jill 730.
Jill 730.
I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations as always. You've made your way to the Buffington Post.
Duh.
Today I'll be continuing my Season 9 coverage of the Buffyverse with Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 9, issue number 22. It's The Core, Part 2. This is the second chapter in the final arc of Buffy Season 9, but before we get into it, previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So early in the season, we met Ko, a demon who owed Buffy this life debt because her destroying magic had freed him from this magical prison that he was in because he had been framed for a crime that he didn't commit. In trying to get answers about who actually, framed him for this whole thing, he has teamed up with Illyria and the magical council that she is a part of, who kind of are protecting the remnants of magic that are left since, Buffy destroyed it. Unfortunately, Illyria's powers were taken from her after the Siphon got her, and now the Siphon is in cahoots with Simone Doppler, the crazy slayer who likes to play with guns, and with the help of Xander, Simone and Severin both hope to achieve their goals. Simone of becoming a, most powerful vampire ever, and Severin in reversing time to bring his girlfriend back to life and basically make sure that Twilight never happened. Xander is helping Severin and Simone because Willow has been gone from our world without magic in the first place, and Buffy has just disappeared while Dawn is starting to literally fade away from reality because there's no magic left in the world to keep her together. So now Willow has returned and everybody is going down to the deeper well, which houses this infinite amount of mystical energy in it, and Severin and Simone are going to the other entrance on the other side of the world, and basically the magical council is trying to stop Buffy and company from getting in, making it so much easier for Severin and Simone to get in. Also, Spike is back, and he, Billy, Anahid, and Andrew are all back in San Francisco, babysitting Dawn while she fades away from reality.
That's what you need to know, and so without further ado, let's jump into Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 9, issue number 22. It's The Core, Part 2. Here we go.
In the heat of the night, I've got trouble all along. In the heat of the night, must be an ending trouble. But hold on, it won't be long. Just you be strong and it'll be alright. In the heat of the night.
Shout out to this lovely cover of Dawn by Phil Noto, really cute. And our issue opens with Buffy once again fighting with the Scythe for the very first time since she, broke it and magic. DeHoffrin does not want to let Buffy down into the deeper well because it's very, sensitive down there, and if they touch anything, we could all be fucked. Willow's doing the best that she can with her new magic that she brought into the world, but she's kind of getting bested by this Zen demon. So while Buffy and Willow are defeating, everything ever, Xander, the Turncloak, is trying to get in touch with Severin and Simone. Severin and Simone go to kind of attack the sentient balloon and the little girl that, kind of comes at the bottom of the tether, okay? And the balloon turns into this crazy, I don't even know how to explain it, monster. It is just, crazy, but Simone, shoots at it, and Severin takes out the little girl thing. So back in San Francisco, we've got Billy, who is Skyping with cute Devin, his boyfriend back in Santa Rosita, and the Zompires, they are back, and they are taking over Santa Rosita, and the new thing about how magic is failing is apparently the Zompires no longer need an invitation to get in. So Billy needs to go home, and since Anahid is an undercover slayer, she's going to accompany him. Now, in the meantime, we've got Spike trying to deal with Dawn, and Dawn doesn't really remember anyone around her. She can, barely remember Buffy, and she does not know herself. And so Spike is trying to fill in her blanks and just make her feel good about herself and trying to get her to come out and, let him be there for her. So back in England at the Deeper Well site, Xander is still playing Turncloak with Simone and Severin, and he's not helping Buffy and Willow in this great big fight. Which, by the way, is a great big fight, Xander. So Buffy like squares off against a Hoffren, but then she gets scooped up by like one of the gargoyle things that got Faith back in season 8, and then it just drops her, okay? It's over for Buffy, but then shling shlang, it's Ko, and he decapitates this gargoyle motherfucker with his magical. So Ko and the depowered Illyria have come out of the woodwork, and they say, hey Buffy, you can't just go and save your sister on your own. You can't do this by yourself. And Buffy says, oh please, watch me do it. So Ko is like, let's cut the crap. Here's the deal, like, the reason that I was imprisoned is because somebody framed me for murdering my own family. And yeah, I was trying to, like, make a deal with Illyria, and make a deal with the Magical Council, and make a deal with Wolfram and Hart, but the fact of the matter is, they're gone. Even if I get my revenge, they're not going to come back. Like, my family, they're super dead, but if you will believe in us, we can help you to save your sister who is not dead yet. Like, she's still here. So, let us help you. So back in San Francisco, Spike is telling Dawn about how great she is and how she always sees the best in people and how just she makes him happy, right? So Dawn's really confused and she's really upset and, you know, she's dying, but she really, like, gravitates to what Spike is saying and it makes her feel comfortable and at home even if she doesn't understand why. Well, then Spike starts to get really upset and he runs to Andrew and says, Andrew, pull out your video camera because I'm starting to forget Dawn too. Willow rescues Xander from this giant demon that was trying to kill him while he was trying to be all turncloaky or whatever, and then Buffy comes in and says, hey, look, we've got reinforcements. So while Willow, Ko, Illyria, and Buffy are all talking, Xander's on the horn with Simone because Simone and Severin have made it down into the deeper well, yay. So Xander is like 32 flavors of upset with Simone. He's saying, hey, you guys need to nip this in the bud, do your time travel stuff really quickly because if we have to fight any more of these guys, we're all going to die, and the whole reason I decided to do this was so that nobody would die. So while Spike is trying to record a message to himself to remind him about Dawn, Billy and Anahid come to tell him some info about Simone Doppler and, you know, how she was trying to create vampire, zompire, slayers, like, uber zompires, right? Buffy, Willow, and Ko and Illyria have kind of like mapped out a plan to go down into the deeper well and do what they need to do to get magic and hopefully bring Dawn back, right? But Xander says no, like, don't go down there, it's too dangerous, we don't want to do this. But Buffy says, this is our only shot, like, you have to let me save Dawn. And he says, I already have saved Dawn. And at this point, it's like cat's out of the bag. What are you talking about, Xander? Xander spills the beans on how basically he didn't have faith in Buffy and he teamed up with Simone and Severin and now they're down there doing their own crazy stuff. And Buffy says, fucking A, Xander, like, really? This is what you've been up to? Great, now we have to save the world again. And that's where we end our issue. Okay, so the reason that I don't talk about Season 9 a whole lot is because of the final arc. The further and further I get into the final arc, this should have been a 30-issue season. We should have started seeing Dawn fall apart, have an entire arc about us not being able to find answers for Dawn with Buffy in the picture. You see what I'm saying? Like, we should have had an entire arc of Willow being back and it just being hopeless before we go to the deeper well and everything is just stacking upon each other. You know what I mean? I really like a lot of the emotional stuff that's going on here for many of the characters involved, but it doesn't feel earned. The season has just been everywhere, and I get that it's supposed to feel like it's coming out of nowhere, but we should get to stew in it for a good minute before we dive into solving the problem. I feel like it's a disservice to Dawn, and it's really just out of nowhere. The end of the season ramps up. There's no, like, gradual build. Season 8, say what you will about it, everything felt earned. When you look at those 40 issues and you go through, everything stacks on each other very neatly and all of the pieces are there. Season 9 does not have that that sheen to it. It doesn't have that cohesiveness to it. And it's not that there's anything missing per se. It's just that they don't do enough with what's in it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that's going on in this issue. I have to say, though, that the art for this issue is not that great. It really just isn't. It's particularly in regard to Spike. This is not the best Spike stuff that we can have. He barely looks human. Haha, I get it, he's a vampire, but he makes Spike look bad, and that's hard to do. It's hard to make Spike look bad, and so, I don't know, like, I enjoy all of the emotional stuff that's in it. I just don't feel like any of it is really earned. I feel like we need an entire arc between this one and Welcome to the Team. That's how I feel. Like I said, there's nothing, like, I like what's going on, it just doesn't feel earned. And also, like we saw back in issues 14 and 15, the Zompires were getting into Billy's house without an invitation. How is this news? How have we not talked about this already? I called it back then. He just comes bursting through the window. That shit doesn't happen. Nobody's invited him in. It's really frustrating, and I don't get it, but let me know what you thought of this issue in the comment section down below. I'm Preston L. Young. You can come right back here to the Buffington Post anytime for Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Buffyverse discussions, and other stuff. Have a great day today. We'll see you next time.